Hi, welcome back to the Gemara on Daf Bet Amud Bet. We are going to start a few lines after the words Ibai Lahu. To remind you of where we were last week, we just saw that there were two possible models that Rabbi Eliezer could be basing his opinion on, his opinion in the Mishnah. One is on the model of Lulav, and the other is on the model of Nisuch HaMayim. We've decided for the time being that he actually based his opinion on the model of Lulav, and then the only question is this something that he learned Halacha Moshe Sinai, or did he get it from a Braita? So we're exploring the position that says that he got this idea from a Braita, the idea that we should have our request for rain correspond with when we start shaking the lulav. So the Gemara is going to explore that. Maihi, what is this Braita? Ditanya, as we learned in a Braita, me'ematai mazkirin ala geshamim. From when do we start mentioning rain? Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Misha'at Netilat Lulav, from the time that we start taking the lulav. Rabbi Yehoshua Omer, Misha'at Hanachato, from the time that we put down the lulav. Amar Rabbi Eliezer, Ho'il va'arba'at minin halalu einan ba'in el leratzot al hamayim. Rabbi Eliezer says, since these four species only come, the only reason we take them is to appeal to God for water. Ukeshem she'arba minin halalu i'afshar bahem below mayim. And just as these four species are impossible without water, kach i'afshar le'olam below mayim. So too, it's impossible for the world to exist without water. Amar lo Rabbi Yehoshua. Rabbi Yehoshua says back to him, isn't it the case that rain on Sukkot is a sign of a curse? We wouldn't want that. Amar lo Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer says back to him, Afani lo amarti lishol, ela lehazkir. Even I didn't say you should ask for it, just that you should mention it. Ukeshem shetchiyat hametim mazkir kol hashana kula ve'ina ela bizmana. And just as you can mention Tchiyat HaMeitim, the revival of the dead all year long, and it only happens in its proper time, Kach mazkirim gevrot geshamim kol hashana ve'enan ela bizmanan. So too, you can mention rain all year long, and it happens only in its time. Therefore, it seems that if you want to mention rain all year long, you could. Rebbe Omer, Omerani misha shemafsik l'sha'ala, kach mafsik l'hazkara. Rabbi says, no, I think that from the time that you stop asking for it, so too you stop mentioning it. They have to be linked. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera Omer, b'sheni b'chag hu mazkir. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera says, on the second day of Chag is when we start mentioning rain. Rabbi Akiva Omer, b'shishi b'chag hu mazkir. On the sixth day of Chag is when you start mentioning it. Rabbi Yehuda Mishum Rabbi Yehoshua Omer, Ha'over lifnei hateva b'yom tov ha'acharon shel Chag, ha'acharon maskir, ha'rishon eino maskir. We saw this in our Mishnah already, that the one who leads davening on the last day of Chag, the person who davens Musaf mentions it, but the person who davens Shachrit does not. B'yom tov rishon shel Pesach, ha'rishon maskir, v'ha'acharon eino maskir. And on the first day of Pesach, the first davener, the davener of Shachrit, mentions it, and the person who davens Musaf does not. That's the end of the Braita. We have a lot of opinions in this Braita. Oops. And I'm going to put it all in red for you. Shapir ka'amar le Rabbi Eliezer le Rabbi Yehoshua. It's good. It's a good thing what Rabbi Eliezer said to Rabbi Yehoshua. Okay, like, good job, nice comeback. Amar lacha Rabbi Yehoshua, but Rabbi Yehoshua would say back in order to defend himself. Bishlamat tchiyat hametim maskir dechui yom zimnehu. It makes sense that we mention tchiyat hametim, meaning that we say that all year long, because any day could potentially be its time. Ela geshamim kol emat za'achan zmanayhu hi. But with rain, is it the case that any time rain comes, that's its time? The Hatnan, but didn't we learn in the Braita? Yatsa nisan ve'arju geshamim, siman kalahem. If if Nisan ends and rain falls, that is a sign of a curse. Shne'emar, as it says in a pasuk, V'halo katsir chitim hayom v'gomer. Behold, isn't it a harvest day, a wheat harvest day? And if you look up the context there in Sefer Shmuel, you'll see that this is a threat. He's saying, you guys want a king, you're supporting a king, so watch, I'm going to make it rain. Even though it's now harvest time, it's now post-Nisan, and it's not supposed to rain. So that proves that it's a sign of a curse to have it rain not in its season. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera Omer, B'sheni b'chag hu mazkir. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera says, we mention it on the second day of Chag. My time is Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera. What is the reason of Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera? Tanya, Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera Omer, because we learn in a Braita that Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera says, Ne'emar b'sheni v'niskehem, v'ne'emar b'shishi v'nisacheha, v'ne'emar b'shvi'i kemishpatam, hare mem yud mem, hare kan mayan. So this is a cute little trick. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera, looking at the psukim that describe the libations, the pouring that we do on Sukkot, on the holiday. So in general, there's sort of like a standard format for the way it's described. So the standard format is minchatam v'niskam, but on the second day, speaking about the second day of Sukkot, because it lists out each day separately, it says v'niskehem. So that's a quote from a pasuk. And on the sixth day, it says nisacheha, so also quoting from a pasuk. And on the seventh day, it says kimishpatam, and instead of kimishpat, which is the way it is on the other days. So you look at those three special or different words, and you notice there's an extra mem in niskehem, an extra yud, nisacheha, instead of niska, and kimishpatam instead of kimishpat, so that's a mem. So you have an extra mem, an extra yud, and an extra mem. Behold, you have water. Mikan remez l'nisuch hamayim min haTorah. And this is where we get a hint to nisuch hamayim, so the pouring of the water from the Torah. We'll stop here. Your assignment is to make a chart that reflects the structure of the piece that we just read. You don't need a lot of detail, but reflects the structure. And then my question to you also, which you can write just a sentence or two about, is who you think is right in the argument. Is it appropriate to mention rain if we're not praying for rain? Can you or should you still say Mashiach Baruch Hashem? Or is it really something that you should only say when you're actively praying for it to rain now? Okay, we'll stop there.